Uh-oh. Behind me is a 74 Honda CB360T. Welcome to Hack a Week. Lisa and I have some friends out here in the Pottery Highway out by Seagrove, North Carolina. Pretty cool guy, John and Beth. They have a pretty neat shop out there, and we made friends with them a couple years ago. And John is all about cars and bikes and cool stuff, and we kind of are kindred spirits in all of that. So we were out there yesterday just for a visit, saying hi, and got talking about stuff. And they're going to be moving pretty soon out of state. And he says, I got a motorcycle, a CB360, I think it is. Do you want it? And I said, what, for free? And he says, sure. So I went out and got it today. He got it from a place near him. The guy tore it apart, was going to do a restoration on it. And out of this, the guy got interested in doing Harleys, I guess, and now he's got a business doing that. So this has been sitting around like this apart for years, but let's look it over. So there it is, all laid out from the boxes that I brought it home in. Not even close to what the CB750 was. That was pretty much everything ready to go back together. Lots of new parts, lots of replated parts, restored parts, brand new parts. It had new wheels, all kinds of new stuff. This is pretty much torn down, painted the tank, painted the side covers, painted the fenders, and stopped. And that's about it. The engine's out of the bike, and it was running when it was taken out. Let's get a closer look at the engine. It's just your basic vertical twin cylinder, 360 overhead cam, 360 cc's. I think it made 34 horsepower if I remember the specs correctly. The cover for the transmission and the clutch cable is right there. And there we go. 6-speed gearbox in this little bugger. Serial number on this is CB360E 1064866. Have to look that up and see if it is indeed a 74 like the frame is. But the engine's all there. It looks pretty clean. Doesn't look like it was puking too much oil anywhere. I'm just going to leave it alone. Not going to do a thing to it except clean it up. The frame has been painted black, kind of paint bombed black. I may redo that. But basically, you know, it's all there. The paint on the tank and all that stuff, that's all going to go different. And of course, I'll redo the seat, etc. Everything underneath there is okay. Let's do a quick inventory from front to rear. Here we got the rear tail light, signal lights, center stand. There's the side stand, the brake lever, the battery box, motor mount, toolbox. It's empty. There's no tools in it. It'd be neat if it had that. This is the timing cover and the two badges for the side, the CB360 badges. And it's a T because it has a disc brake up front. At least that's the research I've quickly done on what the difference is between a 360 and a 360T. Although the badges don't say T, but I don't know. Maybe they didn't. I've got a lot to learn on this. Air boxes, carburetors, and associated parts. Those are going to definitely need a rebuild. And swing arm bushings, I'll probably go ahead and put brass ones in. That jar right there is full of the ball bearings out of the steering head. Going to do all balls, tapered rollers in there. The forks suck. They definitely got to be replaced. The fork tubes are heavily pitted. So we're going to replace those. Bearings in the wheels are going to get replaced. These guys are pretty rusty. Not sure what I'm going to do about those just yet. I've got two upper triple clamps. That's kind of wild. There's the front disc, the caliper, the disc guard. I got one passenger foot peg only. Handlebars with the wire harness run through them. The switches all seem to be intact. All the switches do move. Let's see. There's the front brake fluid reservoir. There's the brake line that goes to the front, speedometer cable, and there's the entire front, well, it's the harness for the whole bike right there, and the headlight and the mounts for it, and the gauges. Let's see what we got. This thing made 34 horsepower right at red line, something like that, 9,000 RPMs. Kind of funny how they rate the highest horsepower where it red lines, but anyway, 58,055 miles, and I would believe that that's original. I can't see this being at 155,000. I kind of doubt that by the shape the engine's in. There's the ignition coils, and that's about it. So right about now, the question everybody's asking is probably, what are you going to do with this bike? What's it going to be? Not a cafe racer. I already did that with the Sabre, the Ducati, kind of a street fighter cafe thing, which I love, by the way. That bike is just a ball to ride. I've been riding it to work a few days this week. It's been nice. This is going to be a scrambler. I've been wanting to do a scrambler here and there. The guy I got it from was going to do a bobber. I'm not into bobbers. I want a scrambler. And just last week, I think, I was saying to my wife, Lisa, you know, it'd be fun to get a little dirt bike, like just a small one. Doesn't have to be huge, you know, 125, 175, something like that, 250, just to kind of put around on some of the back roads. Well, be careful what you wish for, I guess. So I'm going to turn this into a scrambler, put some knobbies on the front and rear, see if I can raise the rear suspension just a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy because then you run into things with tensioning on the chain and all that. Just maybe a little higher than stock rear end, a little bit longer shocks. And on the front, I'm going to check into the fork lengths for a CL series bike, whatever CC, but the CL was kind of an off-road machine. Maybe a little bit longer forks on that. Something with a little bit more travel, put a raised fender on it, kind of maybe a minimal fender on the rear. I'll have a little more clearance back there. Don't know as I'm going to go too crazy trying to clear out that center triangle. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm just probably going to leave it alone and stick the battery in there because it's just less work. I'm after not super customizing this bike. What I'm after in custom would be raising the suspension up so I can take it off-road and bang it around a little bit and put some knobblies on it. The seat might get changed out to something a little different. I may just get a different foam pad for that existing pan and do something with that. And I don't know about the paint job. We'll figure that out later. But that's the goal. Let's make a scrambler out of this machine. So there it is. Not sure when I'll get started. Pretty busy right now. Just moved the business Resto Euro into a new building. That was fun. Trying to move a building and do work at the same time is kind of like trying to work on a car while someone's driving it. It was challenging, but we're in there, we're moved in, and I've been pretty busy with that on the weekends, playing catch up. So maybe in a few weeks I'll get after this. There's no real hurry. It's probably going to be a throughout the summer project. And as far as funding goes, I don't really have tons of money to pour into it at the moment. I put everything spare I had into the Ducati project. So on that note, if you do want to donate to the project, I'll post a link down below and you can help me out if you so desire. I think we're going to wrap it up for now. So exciting, another bike project, and it's going to be a scrambler, something I can get off-road with and do a little sideways action. Tip it over a few times, get some air, take it off some sweet jumps. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you next time. And until then,